In this picture there are 47.5 ships. None of them can be seen. In this film we hope to show you how not to be seen. This is Mr. E.R. Bradshaw in his Tier 5 cruiser, the Emerald, from the islands. He cannot be seen. Now I'm going to ask him to sail out. Mr. Bradshaw, could you sail out for us, please? This demonstrates the value of not being seen. In this picture we cannot see Mrs. B.J. Smegma in her Tier 1 gunboat, the Erie, from the islands of ice. I will now ask her to sail out. Mrs. Smegma, will you sail out for us, please? This is Mr. Nesbitt in his Tier 8 destroyer, the Lightning, from Okinawa. Mr. Nesbitt, will you sail out for us, please? Mr. Nesbitt has learnt the first value of not being seen, which is not to sail out into the open. However, he has chosen a very obvious piece of cover. Mr. E.V. Lambert, in his Tier 10 cruiser, the Minotaur, from the Solomon Islands, has presented us with a bit of a poser. We do not know which smokescreen he's hiding in, but we will soon find out. Yes, it was the middle one. Mr. Ken Andrews, in his Tier 10 destroyer, the Shimakaze, from New Dawn, has concealed himself extremely well. He could be sandwiched in the channel, behind one of these 3 islands, inside the smokescreen, docked in the town, the large island, or he could be behind the small island. However, we have the Commander Trade radiolocation, and knew he was in the smokescreen. Mr. and Mrs. Watson, in their town class cruisers, the Belfast and Edinburgh, chose a very cunning way of not being seen. When we arrived at their port in London, we'd found that they were both sent on 2 months' patrol. They'd not left us any coordinates, and they'd both gone silent running to avoid us as best they can. However, a neighbour told us where they were. And here is the neighbour who told us where they were. Nobody likes the pinking. This is where he lived. And this is where he was born. And this is where the neighbour's clan leader lived, who refused to speak to us. And so did the clan who lived here. And here. And of course, here. And St. Petersburg. And London, and New York, and Hamburg. And now for something completely different.